our story of the day, and it is Melia and Joe. This is the Sunshine State Reader Junior book for this year, and we have it at the CLY to check out, and when we're back next year, you'll be able to check it out. This is written by Billy Aronson and Jennifer Oxley, and it's published by the Harcourt Mifflin, Houghton Mifflin Harcourt Publishing Company. Okay. Let's make a few adjustments here, and here we go. Melia is our main character. Melia loved science. Every day in her backyard lab, she would create things that could scrub, pitch, tickle, bounce, fly, ding, or even make your bed. Most of Melia's creations weren't finished. She just kept working on them, measuring, testing, reading, observing, having a snack, testing again. And if the invention didn't work, she just went through all those steps again. One day, Melia was working on an airplane made of paper. She adjusted the wings, she adjusted the tail, she pulled the propeller a tiny bit further out, but the plane still wouldn't soar. How could she make it fly fast and far? Suddenly, Melia heard a strange sound. Growling? Howling? Yelping? That would be Portia. That would be my dog. Portia. The sound was coming from a girl who had just moved in next door. She seemed to be singing, and while crouching and then leaping around. The girl came whirling toward Melia. "I'm Joe," she said, "but you can call me Jojo, or Josephine, or Joe on the go, go, go." "I'm Melia," Melia replied. "You can just call me Melia." Melia started to explain that she was busy working on a really important invention when Joe leaped right into Melia's lap. "Ooh, you've got some cool stuff here," Melia said. "Melia Bobalia," said Joe as she flipped a bowl with an antenna and put it on her head. That's not really a hat, actually," said Melia, carefully flipping it back over again. Joe held up a bendy contraption and turned the crank. "Ooh, I love this bendy ladder." "It's actually not a ladder," Melia said. "Ooh, cool plane!" And Jojo picked it up and tossed it. "Careful," Melia said, as the plane plunged to the ground towards the mud, and Melia dove to catch it. Then Joe plucked a dandelion. "Too bad your plane doesn't fly like the fluff on a dandelion," she said. And the seeds went soaring in all directions. Joe then stopped to take a bite of a licorice stick. Then she squealed, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, yum. Check out that clubhouse balloon thing." She poked her licorice stick into the neck of a small headless robot for safekeeping as she dashed to the clubhouse. That robot was one of Melia's favorite inventions. Its head kept falling off, but she loved it just the same. "You can't put a licorice stick in my robot," she said. Jojo didn't even hear her. She skipped right back to her yard and started a new dance. As Melia put her inventions back in order, she laughed at Jojo Silly's ideas. She thought my cereal bowl was a radio hat. But as Melia held the bowl upside down again, she began to wonder, When Melia put her plane back, she remembered how Jojo blew on the dandelion. Could Melia blow on the plane and make it soar? Next, Melia reached for the headless robot. With that sticky licorice in the robot's neck, the head stays on right in place. Joe's a genius, she said. Melia hurried over to Joe's yard. Yo, Joe, she called, but Joe didn't answer. She was creating a dance inspired by a leaping frog. Melia came closer. Can we be a team, Joe? Please, 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 please. No dealia, Melia, Joe replied, leaping higher and higher. Why should I try to make a plane that soars when I can just soar myself? Hey, watch out, shouted Melia, but it was too late. Joe had leapt so high, she got stuck in a tree branch. Hang on, Joe. Melia dashed away and dashed right back with her crank contraption. As she turned the crank, its bendy ladder reached all the way up to the branch. Joe scampered down the ladder. Your inventions are the real deal, Melia. I wouldn't have known this invention's true use if it weren't for you, said Melia. It never worked as a spaghetti server, but when you called it a ladder, I realized it would be perfect for getting people out of trees. Melia brought out one invention after another to show Joe how she'd helped improve them. The antenna hat was perfect for listening to the radio while walking. The licorice stick kept the robot's head on. When she blew into the straw on the back of the plane would soar fast. Joe realized Melia was right. These two were meant to be together. They headed over to Melia's lab. Sorry I yelled at you, said Melia. Sorry I stuck my licorice into your robot's neck without asking, said Joe. As they began working on inventions, Melia didn't mind if Joe rearranged things or turned them upside down or gave them funny names. She realized that was just Joe's way of working. Melia helped with Joe's creations too. She concocted a gooey material that they could use to make set pieces for Joe's dances and homemade musical instruments that they could play when Joe was singing her songs. By combining Joe's art skills with Melia's science skills, they could create more super cool stuff together than either could create alone. When the robot waddled by, Melia said, let's call him Ronaldo, the licorice neck robot. Great idea, amazing Amelia, said Joe. Thanks, genius Josephinus, Melia replied. Ronaldo's licorice neck wouldn't last long, but the friendship between Melia and Joe would last forever. And that is the end of our story. That's great. Two kids could come together and work together. Even if you don't have like interests, you never know. Two heads are better than one. The end. See you next time. Bye-bye.